Hello everybody, I'm TychoCelchuuu, the person on the internet who makes sometimes some Company Heroes videos, sometimes he doesn't make them, but I'm really excited today. I'm streaming this live on twitch.tv/TychoCelchuuu as always, and we waited 8 minutes for this game to start because this is a Luciano versus Dave game, two of the greatest players in this video game and perhaps in any video game ever, although I probably wouldn't venture that far because the CoH2 competitive community is pretty small. It's just a bunch of losers like you and I, my friends. But they're really good at Company Heroes too, and I think actually typically people like this are good at most real-time strategy games and most video games because that is just their thing, and they happen to like Company Heroes too a lot because they get praise and adulation from people like you and me. Dave's engineer's going over here, yes, to cap. So the engineer's going here to cap first, and then just conscripts coming out from Dave. First conscript squad going to be doing the back capping to hook it all up, and then we have an MG first out from Luciano, which is pretty interesting. And it looks like oh, I was like, I thought he was building another MG because I didn't see tier 1, but there's tier 1. So there's the engineers, and you're like, Tycho, why didn't you look in the upper left to see what was building? And the answer is that's where my frame rate counter for the recording program I use to get these on YouTube is. So I can't actually ever see what's basically right here. I can see it sort of, but there's a bright pink frame rate counter in front of it. So anyways, let's which is not good. So let's see where this machine gun goes first off. So popular choices include this house over here, this house over here, this house. I should really be just watching the machine gun. That house over there. This is a nice little place to set up. Looks like these guys only have yellow cover, so they're instantly suppressed. They were bothering wiring off that cover instead of building themselves some sandbags or something. And so that's a successful first engagement for Luciano. All you really want at this point in the game is for your machine gun to push somebody off, force them to retreat all the way back to their base on this rather large map, and to not get flanked, and then also to be able to reposition your machine gun somewhere to either cap or somewhere where your opponent doesn't know where it is, so that you can catch them unaware next time. So Dave now does have the information that there's a machine gun out there, so we'll have to see how he reacts in response to that. It's interesting, we have some pretty passive conscripts on the map. These guys just hunkering down behind the green cover, protecting their munitions. These guys just very slowly moving up here. They don't want to get too close to the pyos because that'll mean red cover. That'll also mean MP40s doing some better damage, but they do want to be in the cap zone. They want to find some cover. Ooh, and a nice flank from conscripts coming up. Those pioneers are going to be in a bad place, and also these grenadiers, because they don't have green cover, are losing to those pioneers, or to those conscripts. And so suddenly the German is not in a great position. If this squad goes down, which it may very well do, nice chase here from Dave, and these guys are probably heading to the left to fight. Yeah, they are. So nice chase here from Dave with this squad on the right and a little bit with the one on the left. Oh, but they break off the chase. Interesting. Interesting. I really would like to see the chase keep going, but I guess it's really important to start shooting this Grenadier squad, because if this Grenadier squad doesn't get low fast enough, these guys can stay in the fight, this machine gun moves up, and suddenly the entire left flank will collapse for the Soviets. So I think that wasn't a bad choice for Dave, not electing to chase those piles down there, even though it could have gotten him a squad wipe. It's one of those things that when you have a lot of experience in the game, you got to choose, do I think I'm going to wipe the squad or not? And frankly, the chances were not super great. It would have taken a lucky hit or two. So instead, these conscripts are being utilized to their full potential, and it's getting Luciano's machine gun pushed off the map a little bit, but they're taking a lot of damage because the other conscripts, I guess, are back capping here, and one of them retreated. So, you know, it's interesting. So this conscript squad retreated. It's interesting that he didn't bother merging it into this conscript squad and this conscript squad. He could have donated 2 to these guys, and I think 1 or maybe 2 at that point, however they were missing to those guys. And that would have been, I think, a pretty good move. But Dave did not elect to do that, probably because it would have taken a lot of time. You have to centralize all your conscript squads. I'm not sure there's like a... I mean, you can use hotkeys and stuff, but I'm not... It's still like 7 actions or whatever. And if you're only doing 7 actions per minute, that'll take you a whole minute, and nobody's doing 7 actions per minute. But if they were, that's the sort of math I can handle. And here we go. It's a Maxim, and we just have Gren spam from the Germans now. Nice, opening up that Maxim at pretty long range, does pick a person off and suppress, and more importantly, the Maxim is in a position to start fighting this machine gun in a moment. Maxim will typically win. Oh, it's in red cover. I take it back. Maxim will typically win against a machine gun 42 just because it's got 6 people in the squad, so it can outlast the MG. But he doesn't really care that he's in red cover. It's pretty easy to pick up and move a Maxim, and obviously the conscript's flank was coming in here, so no reason to worry about the Maxim. It was very safe and sound, and it's a really wonderful play by Dave after that brief early engagement with the MG where the engineers were pushed off. Pretty much everything has been going in the Soviets' favor. And so great Dave play. We have some mines over here. We were trying to get some mines there. I don't know if these grenadiers saw those mines about to go down. It looks like I don't think they did, because it seemed like he was able to cancel the mines basically just by saying, nope, don't do that. So, but I don't really know. It's one of those mysteries, one of those mysteries of life. Like, does Jeff Goldblum, is he ever going to get, like, aged? He's gotten gray, but I don't think he's aged. He's just gray. Like, he doesn't seem like an old guy. Or Keanu Reeves. I don't think Keanu Reeves is getting older. He's not even getting grayer. Talk about the portrait of Dorian not gray, right? Because he doesn't... Yeah, that's a pun. I didn't even finish the pun. I didn't finish the thought. Finish the thought yourselves, you motherfuckers. You think I get paid to finish puns? I don't even get paid anything. I guess I do get paid. I have some Twitch subscribers now. Subscribe to me on Twitch. Use your Amazon Prime thing, which I think Amazon Prime is a bad deal because it just makes you buy more stuff on Amazon. But it's a good deal because you get to watch a bunch of streaming movies. They got some good stuff streaming, like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which is the most racist Indiana Jones movie, which is great because there's some pretty heavy competition in there. But they're all good movies. So for a while I didn't like Temple of Doom. Then I came around on Temple of Doom without rewatching it. I just read, like, I don't know, some think piece on why Temple of Doom is not a piece of shit. And I was like, okay, I like it now. And I still haven't rewatched it. But I will someday. If anyone in Twitch chat likes or dislikes Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, please let me know. And those are your only two options. You can't be lukewarm on it, because that counts as dislike. Because an Indiana Jones movie that you're lukewarm on is a dislike. So we have a mortar out from Dave, getting pissed off about the single MG42 he's been fighting. And looking to potentially solidify his hold on the middle of the map. We'll see how well the mortar works. Nice flames pushing these people off. So, okay, mortar's opening up. I don't know if the German knows it's there yet, but they'll know in a moment when the shell falls. Boom! And they did know right before the shell fell they moved, and that was a few inches to the left of almost wiping a Gren squad. So, not unlucky. What? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Twitch chat is not speaking up about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and in fact my viewership count is plummeting precipitously from 5 to 3, so that's bad news. For those of you watching on YouTube, you're like, shit, only 5 people are watching Tycho? The answer is, number 1, no, 3 people are watching Tycho, and number 2, this is the first stream I've done this morning, so I just logged on, clicked the button, whipped my dick out, got pretty hard, and now it's getting a little soft. But obviously what I mean is the viewer count has not had time to build up, and I think Account Eliminator is streaming, and everybody likes him more than me. Why not? So until he stops streaming, I won't get any viewers. Also, Helping Hans is streaming, but honestly, I don't even know if he's even playing Company Heroes 2. What does he even do anymore? He's probably watching anime. He's probably hugging an anime body pillow. Sakal or Sakale in Twitch chat says it's pretty good, presumably referring to Indiana Jones. Good. How many kills does Mortar have? That's right. Zippo, Zilch, 0. Ooh, flamethrowers versus... Suddenly, there's too much stuff in this game to keep track of. Suddenly, we have Maxim being pushed up by an armored car. We have a pretty large German offensive being held off almost entirely by flamethrowers and a conscript. Somehow, the conscripts get a massive flank on this MG42, but the armored car is going to come over here to try and shut it down. I guess it doesn't really matter how much you flank the MG42 as long as you know where it is, because you have a mortar that can start pounding it. Nice grenade goes in on the conscripts. Their health bar gets pretty low, and the pioneers are putting some good damage in because they're really close up with their MP40s, and maybe the scout car is going to be able to chase that squad. Yeah, it's down to 2 men. I would think about chasing. Really worried about AT grenades or something, though, and in fact, AT grenades are upgraded pretty prescient from the Soviets, and so the German does not chase that very low health conscript squad that had a long retreat to go. Pretty good restraint shown by Luciano. Will that be the right call? Only time will tell, and maybe time won't even tell, because sometimes it can be hard to know whether that was good or bad. I was trying to zoom in on the truck flying around, but obviously that didn't work. Did anyone watch that YouTube video? God, by the time this video I'm talking on goes up on YouTube, it's going to be like 1,000 months from now. But did anyone watch that YouTube video of Far Cry 2 compared to Far Cry 5? And part of it was they were blowing up cars in both games, and in Far Cry 5 you blow up a car and it just goes like, it just turns into a wreck, whereas in Far Cry 2 you blow up a car and it does like a fucking triple flip in the air and it looks badass. So that truck made me think of that, because it did a flip in the air and looked badass. I think all car explosions should be badass like that in video games, because why even show up if they're not? So nice MG usage coupled with the armored car protecting the MG from flanks largely just by looking intimidating. Honestly, if the conscripts wanted to run in on this, the armored car would be the one that would have to run away, and also the Soviet doesn't need to care because they can keep bombarding it with a mortar. So I guess the idea was just get some firepower with the armored car to add to the MG42, and also, you know, you sort of maybe aren't thinking about the fact that if the Soviets charge you, you'd have to immediately move. Jesus, that mortar is going for the armored car now. Yeah. I don't know about these conscripts trying to win this fight. They're just hanging out here so the mortar can get some work done. But, oh, no, they're hanging out here to distract it till the guards show up. And they also have the DP, so it's interesting to see the guards opening up at long range, max range, basically, with the AT rifles and not chasing. It's better if you can sort of ambush this thing and hit it with the button so it can't get away. But the guards instead just plank away to force it back, and that's a fine thing. If it's off the field for a while, you can handle that. And Dave, very happy with how this game is going. 360 VPs for the opponent versus 492 for Dave. He's got pretty good map control. Look at the fuel income, 26 for Dave, and it's about to tick up a bunch when he captures this. And 42 munis versus 31 and 19. And now we have Panzergrens out. Every time they come out, I say we don't see these very often, but I feel like I say that often enough that Dorksman just said World War II. In chat. Don't know what that's a reference to, sorry. Yeah, the Panzergrens, I'm gonna immediately contradict myself and say they're not very common. Dave picked a doctrine. Yeah, T-34. Obviously he picked a doctrine. We have guards rifle running around. Let's look at these doctrines. Okay, I take it back. I feel bad that I looked. Also, there's a pack out. There's been a pack out a while. I'm sure you sort of observed it yourself. Nice little Soviet, whatever, conscript, tripwire, flare, and the DP's paying off. Guards rifle up to a couple infantry kills. Mortar almost wipes this squad, and suddenly this is not great for Luciano. The MG42 has to pick up and reposition. Is it going to be able to catch these engineers? I don't think so. What is going on the left? There's a nice German cut-off flank, whatever you want to call it, going on the left, but I kind of want to keep watching this fight. This seems pretty crucial. What's happening over here? Armored car over here. It's just fucking people, I don't know, they're suppressed by the Maxim. The Panzergrens are suppressed by the Maxim, so the armored car is coming in there to save them. What's happening? Oh, what's the PTRS is shooting? Okay, now we can look over here. Man, nice, yeah, real good blitzkrieg here from the Germans. Very happy to get this Panzergren squad pinned in at half health because it buys them the leeway to cap this point, to trap the Maxim. Not trap the Maxim, but basically pin down. Ooh, nice retreat from the Germans running over the mine. Obviously that wasn't on purpose, but running over the mine means they only lose a model. Could have been worse. And conscripts ooh-ahing up to AT grenade this thing, but there's not going to be any follow-up because it's basically in its base, so that'll buy them some time, but not much more. I guess the worry was that it was going to run roughshod all the way over to the left, and the guards are all the way on the right, so they can't do anything, but I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to kill those things, not just snare them. We are bleeding, comrades. Another Pioneer squad coming out. Interesting. Is this... Why is the German... Oh, these mines must have been swept or something. Maybe not. Maybe they just really luckily retreated over them. Another mine completed. Ooh, it is just Mine City for Dave, showing why he was one of the top players in the world. So yeah, I don't know why we're going so heavy on Pios. Just to repair this thing while these people are out in the boondocks? Just so you don't have to waste time repairing? I guess if that... AT grenade I was talking about that just snared it right outside the base, resulted in the opponent having to dump 120 manpower into a Pioneer squad plus the upkeep cost. Maybe that was worth it. I don't know how Dave could have predicted Luciano would build a Pioneer because of that AT grenade, and maybe that's not even what happened, but still, good play. Panzergrens versus Maxim. They've got green cover, but they also have PTSD, because last time they fought this Maxim, they got super pinned. Armored car forcing some... forcing some engineers off. And we do see LMGs popping up just on the one Gren squad so far. Not a ton of munis. Nice mortar hit. Not a ton of munis for the Germans to be sinking into this stuff. Trying the flamethrower on the armored car just to see if it works. Answer is nope. No, it doesn't. You want that stuff to work, you go play Men of War. Dave, unable to dodge a grenade, probably busy microing other stuff, and that's a huge problem because that, my friends, is the first squad loss. That is the Soviets, who are in a fairly good lead. Whoa, Jesus. Who dropped an LMG-42? Was this a squad loss too? Did I miss? Yeah, no, we, that was just too simultaneous. That was why Dave wasn't paying attention. He was busy wiping a squad over here, so now they're basically even. I think I'd rather have a guard squad with PTRSs and a DP than I would an Grenadier with an LMG, but still, now the Soviets are not as far behind as you might have thought. They are kind of in a bad spot now that this thing, I think, got mauled by the Pak-40 once or twice. That's got to be how it's this low already. This is this T-34-85 has been very effectively blunted by the German defense, and suddenly the game is a little more even. The two advantages the Soviet had, namely the Guards rifle, which highly reduced the effectiveness of the scout car and were also good at shooting infantry, and this T-34-85, which is should be changing the pace of this game. Like, this is the first tank to come out. It should be running all over and killing stuff. Dorksman said video games. I don't know what that's in reference to. Yeah, this should be changing the pace of the game. Instead, basically ate shit when it ran into the AT gun, and now it's got to be repaired for a while. The opponent knows it's there. They can get ready to prepare for it. Luciano still hasn't picked a doctrine, so Germans can for sure come back. This is what is this? Is that, or who? Oh, it's a mortar flare. So probably that was a mortar flare earlier too. Not a bad choice. Get a bit of sight. Figure out where that AT gun is. The answer is I don't know because it's over here, but still, at least you know where it isn't. And spot for the mortar, obviously. Tank has 4 kills. Whoa. So maybe the tank wiped the Gren squad in one shot. Maybe that's the first thing the tank did, and that's how the LMG got dropped. If only there were a rewind button. And we have mines here, so Dave, anticipating in the future, maybe enemies will be trying to flank or chase the tank, and they will run over the mines. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Back up to 5 viewers for those following along on YouTube. If you want to be one of the viewers, you can interact with me in chat by saying World War II video games like Dorksmen. Follow me on twitch.tv/TychoCelchuuu, and I won't shut up about it until I have as many Twitch followers as I have YouTube subscribers. Somebody, at least 1 or 2 people posted on YouTube. I may have already told this story, but it's not a story. It's just a one-line thing. 1 or 2 people posted on YouTube. I don't even use Twitch, but I followed you on Twitch, so shut the fuck up. Great. Congratulations, it's exactly what I want, and it's working, and you're playing into the military-industrial complex. Or the streamer Tycho industrial complex. Dorksman writes, online streaming. I'm thinking Dorksman may be a bot, so, well, after this game, we'll have to give the Voight-Kampf test to Dorksman. So we have a T-34-76 out, so now we have an 85 and a 76. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially when your opponent, oh, here's tier 4 going up, especially when your opponent doesn't have a lot of responses to the tank right now. And especially once you already have an 85, you can sort of start cheaping out and buying the other tanks that you can use just to drive around and force infantry off the map. I think that's a 2nd Gren squad down. Just force infantry off the map. Are you attacking ground? Or are you shooting at the wounded guy? Shooting at the wounded guy. Why would you do that? For vet? Just give you vet. Keep an eye on the vet bar. Well, he's not gonna hit. The guy's fucking gonna die. Can you crush him? This is pathetic. Ooh, got the... it didn't count as a kill. The shell hit and it looked like the guy died at the same time. No vet happened. I'm just very confused about this whole situation. Dorksman says, let me tell you about my mother, so replicant confirmed. Someone please execute, retire Dorksman. And we've got a good old Stug. So this is much less effective now that there's 2 Soviet tanks on the field, because the Stug, of course, is very vulnerable to circle strafing. And it's doubly vulnerable to circle strafing if somebody other than its target can circle strafe it. Because at least if it has 1 target, it can try and keep facing itself to face the target. But if it has 2 targets, it is physically impossible for the Stug to face them both unless they're next to each other. And I don't think they're going to be next to each other because, spoiler alert, Dave is not an idiot in Company of Heroes. He may be an idiot in real life. Unconfirmed whether or not Dave's an idiot. And we also have a ZIS 3 76mm divisional field gun hanging out. Just saying what's up. Only 2 kills on the Panzer Grenadiers. Rough day for them. And another Maxim built. So we're, that's interesting. I'm sitting up in my seat. You can maybe hear the cool Foley effects that I pay somebody to edit in afterwards to make this sound more plausible. I'm sitting up in my seat because we're 20 minutes in and we're building a 2nd Maxim on the Soviets, which is a neat choice. Just trying to tamp down on all this infantry. I think we have seen the Stug, right? It fired, chased the T-34 off here. So So, and that was after the Soviets had committed to the ZIS. So the Soviets do know there's a CoH2. They know that Tier 4 is sort of... Oh, that's the Soviet Tier 4. They know that Tier 4 is hanging out for the Germans, and so they know maybe more CoH2s can come out, maybe a Panzer IV can come out, and so the question is, how much do they keep dumping into anti-infantry, like that brand new Maxim, versus how much into anti-tank? Turns out anti-infantry was a good choice. We have a Jaeger command squad out of this new doctrine Lucio has picked. Let's see if we... Oh, we're only down to 1 Gren squad, and they're not even building the G42s. They're building the MG42s. Man, Germans fucking love 42. Something must have been happening in 1942 that Germany was all in on or something, because that number shows up a lot. Anyways, we're sort of out of Gren squads to build G43s on, so it's a little late for that. I don't know why we bought a Jaeger command squad. I guess they shoot people. But if we're not doing G43s, then maybe it's for... You really don't get anything with this doctrine. I don't know, some people like this thing. It's kind of cool. Drops a lot of stuff. It's nice. It's a nice area denial thing. Another one of these anti-flanking mines from the Soviets. And it's looking pretty grim for the Germans. This has really been a come-from-behind game for the Germans, and they can't. So if you can't come from behind, then you can't win from behind. And a Katyusha, which is a neat choice. You do your main, kind of your main opponent at this point is this crew-served Pak 40. I guess there's been a German mortar for who knows how long. Isn't it G43 and not G42? Yes, Pak 21. This is why I should not be allowed on the internet. Jesus, we're down to 76, 75 VPs. Okay, so your main issue is the Pak. What's it shooting at? Yeah, your main issue is the Pak. There's 2 packs now. Your main issue is the 2 packs, and so a Katyusha is a not bad tool to deal with them. As you can see, this pack being 100% forced off, the mortar for good measure, and once you do that, you can sort of clear some space for your T-34s, which feel like they've been basically just on defense mode for a long time. TychoCelchuuu says Hansu in Twitch chat. Twitch chat is heating up, my god. And this is very quickly the downsides of having 1 Stug versus 2 T-34s is extremely apparent. They simply shoot it. And that's GG. So even though Luciano got roundly trounced in that one, I think it was a pretty fair fight the whole time. We were basically one good battle away from Luciano taking the lead from Dave. They were sort of on a razor's edge for quite a while, and Luciano just wasn't able to get that, and that's a testament to the expertise of Dave's play, that he was able to sort of 420 smoke every day all these craters, which you don't see a lot of players able to do. Often you just get the craters without the smoke, but Dave gets you the whole package deal. That was a good match. We almost had a 22-minute, 22-second match, but we didn't, so I guess that means I'm going to go have to hang myself. It's been nice knowing all of you, and goodbye.